Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zagger-tastic stream. And it is I, your friend, the one, the only Z, a single gut Zaggard. And I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. Today, welcome back to the Dragon's Den, my friends. And it is another wonderful, beautiful, fainting Fridays here in the Dragon's Den. And I am so glad to have it all with you. I just realized I turned my lights off for a reason. And there we go. Now you can see me. Holy squawkamole. I hope you're all having a good day and a good end to your week. I certainly am. For your listening pleasure, just to let you know, this is supposed to be fantasy lo-fi on Spotify. So if you want to listen along and we have to turn it off, you can always play that. A ghoul. Where? I didn't know Claire was in the room. Lights off for dramatic effect. No, lights off for stupidic effect. Ignore that I said that. Anyways, today is also Fantasy Fridays, where we will be continue working on new land in a world which we haven't named yet. We should probably name that world within the next, 100 episodes of this. We'll see. If we ever name the planet. But anyways, thank you all for joining us. We will be continuing Fantasy Friday with Midpoint, the city on the road to nowhere, where we have more ideas and the questions to answer. If you are part of the Discord, you may have seen a notification where I asked in the announcements channel about a bunch. I posted a bunch of stuff that we have already answered, and then I posted a bunch of questions to you guys that I believe we need to continue to answer. That way, you guys have an idea going into this to help you answer some of these questions. The world of Gdarzga. Hold up. Gardza. I don't know how I'm gonna pronounce that. It's gotta be silly. It's gotta be weird sounding, you know? It's gotta sound like ice cream being put through a wood chipper and then eaten by an angry horse. The world of Zag. No, we're not calling it that. I wanted to have a name outside of just me. That way people use it and it's just like, oh, you copied that from Zaggard if I ever get that big, you know. But anyways, let us get back to Fantasy Fridays. I finally made a button on my stream deck to just go straight here. So that feels good. Can you guys hear the music? You can hear the music. Apparently that's a normal way to say music in the Midwest. Because I've heard at least 3 different creators call it music. Anyways, Abash29, hello. How are you doing today? Gardza is just Zaggard with the syllables swapped. I know it is. But you can't do that to my ADHD dyslexic brain, okay? Suddenly it becomes a completely different thing and my brain just cannot process it. It would be like putting in 0 divided by 0 into a computer. Or not, yeah, into a basic calculator. It's just going to be like error. It doesn't know what's happening. Slarl, the Anarl, what now? Oh, I'm glad you're doing good. So, for those of you who remember, this is a city on top of a mesa in a desert. The desert is named Deshret, the Crimson Wastes. It is more dangerous than any desert in our real world. Because, of course, it is. It's a fantasy world. They literally have land sharks. All right. Also known as boulets. Look it up. It's pretty cool. And the sand there is red. Like the Red Sea. Or more accurate, the red sand in any fantasy thing. Just red sand. Okay, it's red sand. All right? Red sand. And there's one question that came in when we were doing the using the cards that we use from Book of Worlds, Deck of Worlds, not Book of Worlds, from the Deck of Worlds that we have not even begun to answer yet, and I would like to answer this as soon as possible. That is, There's apparently an elaborate waterway of engineering. There's some sort of engineering, like some super advanced engineering for the time period, for the fantasy world, that uses waterways. And we don't know what it is. We haven't decided what it is yet. And we haven't even decided what it's used for. Is it used for growing water faster? Is it used as a waste disposal? Is it just used as simple elevators and crane stuff? What is it used for? Tell me. What does it do? Zero divided by 0 is Monk S. Yeah, you know what my point was? You know how you can't divide by 0? And my brain couldn't think of the exact phrasing, so it just said 0 divided by 0. Immediately my brain is like, that's 1. Wait, no, you can't have a whole of nothing. I feel like either it's really obvious and I'm really stupid right now, or it is really complex and confusing. I thought it was pretty straightforward. It's a desert, so the waterways are just transporting waterway for everyday needs. The waterways are just transporting water. What? Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I wanted it to be unique and special. Because we could just say it's a waterway, but what makes it unique, right? Like, we could say it's just like the Nile, where it's just this waterway that goes through Egypt. I shouldn't say just a water. It's an important waterway that goes through Egypt, which is how they were able to do. Not only were they able to get fresh water and grow their crops, but it was also how they were able to move a lot of things. That's how they built the pyramids with those giant blocks. It wasn't like despite what some conspiracy theorists might say, it wasn't some ancient technology that could levitate stones. They would put the stones on the boats and the river would carry it because, boats are more buoyant than heavy stones are heavy. Nature is fantastic that way. 0 is undefined because of how fucky-wucky it gets. It's okay, I'm right. It's not easy. I'm not a complete idiot. It's weird as flapjacks. Math is hard, guys. So anyways, a resh? Heh? Heh? What is a resh? What is a resh? I've never heard this word before. Resh? Or are you trying to say deshret? Thinking of world names. Okay. Thank you. If you are gonna just write a random line, and my brain has moved on past that conversation, it would be very helpful. You don't have to do this, but I would appreciate it if before shouting out a thing, you say world name idea : whatever, or if we're talking about a warrior in like warrior name or doctor name, or just so that way my brain can immediately go, I know what you mean. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit send. Do not apologize for sending out interesting ideas and things that you are thinking to help improve this world and create it. That is the whole point of this exercise, is you send me information, I send you information, we come together, we mix it together, and then we get a bowl of ice cream, and I want ice cream right now. God damn it, somebody give me some ice cream. Where's the ice cream? What was the exact wording of the elaborate waterway bit? Do you want me to get the cards out? I could get the cards out. I just don't want to get out of my seat. Did I put on deodorant today? I suddenly feel like I didn't. I'm pretty sure I did put on deodorant today. I'm just warm. Yeah, this feels like deodorant. No, it's fine. I mean, it's not that hard to get the cards out. They're literally like right here. I'm just lazy. Just with you mentioning a Nile confused me if we're talking about natural or artificial waterways. Well, that is the question. What is this? What are the waterways? Right? Are they natural? Are they engineered? Is there some sort of magic that's allowing water to go upwards? Like, is there something weird in the stones that causes weird gravitational pulls, but only works on liquids? I think they should be engineered. Cool. So not natural. I'm just going to write not natural so I don't bring that up again. That's for me. That's for this noggin here. The other reason I want to talk about it is if you look at the thumbnail on the YouTube stream, I did a thing to try and make it look. You'll understand if you look at it. Speaking of YouTube stream, if you're watching the VOD, thank you for joining us. That really helps a lot. If you could click that like and subscribe button, that could really help. I'd appreciate it. Starting a system that takes water from deep underground or something. Okay. We'll use this section here. Takes water from deep underground. Does anyone have any other ideas? Like just any other ideas? I don't want to influence you guys, so do you have any other ideas for what this waterway system could do? Is it pulling water, or is it using water, or is it water itself? Is there maybe a living water elemental that's hidden underneath the place that changes the way the water works? Is there like some sort of magical device? ¿Por qué no los dos? Elaborate, good snowman. Because I was just throwing ideas out there. I don't even remember what I said. I'm just saying the first thing that comes to mind and forgetting the last thing that I said. That's how you think here in the Dragon's Den, by not thinking. Because you know what we say here, thinking rhymes with thinking, and that's no good. By the way, for years I've been saying that, and Claire didn't know what that phrase is from. That's no good. And I showed it to her, and she's like, that has nothing to do with your phrase. And I'm like, I know, that's why I like it so much. It's a piece of cultural history that you have to know about a certain time period to know that. Let it pull water from underground, and then use the water for whatever the heart desires. We're creating Heartless? Let's go. Pulls the water from underground, then is able to use the water to complete tasks. Oh, interesting. Follow-up question. Is there a magical property to the water? Is there property to the engineering? Because we want this to fit in as fantasy as possible. We don't want it to just be like, oh, it's just like, I mean, we could just make it a series of waterways that existed in the real world and some sort of technological improvement that existed in the past. But adding magic to it is just so much more fun. Okay, look, fire is cool. Fire with magic, that's extra cool. It might be amusing for the water to serve as an automated delivery system for goods. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, this is giving me another question. I'm just going to write this in a random box somewhere. Do people live inside the mesa or only on top? Okay, so use as a delivery system. Does anybody else have any ideas? I'm not asking that because I don't like your idea, Yuki. I just want as many ideas flowing as possible, and I don't want it to just be this one guy talks all the time, and everybody else feels like, oh, well, Yuki always gets his way, and blah, 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 you know. Like, instead of vacuum tube transport, you have water tube transport. Oh. Interesting. So kind of like, how ships are moved in into, what do you call them, canals, right? So if you don't know anything about canals, they're usually a water system. They're a kind of like connecting system between two waterways, and it usually cuts through a landmass, for instance, the Panama Canal. So back in the day, here, I'll bring up a world map, or a map of North and South America. Going on a bit of a tangent, but I think this is interesting information. So back in the day, if you wanted to get goods from one side of America to the other side, or I should say one side of the U.S. to the other side of the U.S., there was two ways you could do it. You could send it by land, which would take a really long time and was not very efficient. Or you could take a boat, and it would have to travel all the way down, take a break here, all the way down, take another break, go all the way, break all the way here. So it would take forever. And then they realize that there's this teensy tiny, little bitty witty part of the land that is separating the oceans. So what did they do? Well, they decided, let's just dig it out. We'll just dig it out and connect it, so that way ships don't have to go all the way around. They can go down here, connect through here, whoop, and it cut the transport time by like 2/3. All right, it went from like half a year to 2 months or something like that to travel them through. But here's the thing: the reason that was able to work is because there is a lake in Panama, and the lake is fresh water. And the land separated the fresh water from the salt water, because that's how it works. And so, and the other thing is the water level, the sea level of the ocean and the sea level of the lake were different. And they couldn't just make like a ramp that pushes the boats up, because that would be highly inefficient. They didn't have the technology, and so on and so forth. So instead, what they did is they made canals. And so how a canal works is it like locks off, it cuts off the boat like here, right? Or the Panama Canal, I should say, specifically. Is it cuts off the boat, and it puts a wall in front and behind the boat, and then they fill that canal with the fresh water, and then it raises the boat up to the I should look up Panama Canal. Yeah, this is a better picture. See how it's like terraced? So then what it does is it raises up the boat, and then it lowers the front one, so the boat just slides into the lake. And then when you're going in the reverse direction, they close them, and it lowers, they suck the water out and push it back into the lake. And then they open up the outside one, and then you're now as low as the ocean. So that is that what you're kind of talking about, Yuki? Not because my ideas are completely absolute garbo. First of all, how dare you? How dare you say that about my good snowman, Yuki no Circle? He does not have garbo ideas. He has trash ideas. Trash is slightly better than garbo. And second, just because it's trash doesn't mean it's not good. Remember, it's called trash can, not trash cannot. Remember that the next time you talk about him that way. It might seem like it said a vacuum to transport. Mm-hmm. I knew that's where you're going with that. Hey, you still Omega lol, didn't you? Still Omega lol. All right. So takes water from underground, then uses the water to complete tasks. I actually really like the idea, just because I actually know the science. I've been to the Panama Canal a few times, so I actually know what it's like to be on one of those ships and to watch the waterways do that. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty ingenious form of engineering by humans, if I do say so myself. Thank you. On behalf of humans everywhere, we're pretty smart. Let's see. Able to use the water to, what did you say? Move goods around like a... Are we going to for sure go with a delivery tube system? Or are we going to go with... I mean, we could. I'm trying to think. Move goods around with a water delivery system. No, we don't need to. I just was throwing... No, I know. I'm just curious how we want to flavor this, right? Because we could flavor it like you said, let's just write Futurama tubes, not tibes. Like we could flavor it like the Futurama tubes where instead of people in this situation, it's goods, or what's it called? Or we could do it like the Omashu delivery system, where this is what they send their mail, you know, through this area, like, right? Trying to find a better picture of it. I guess there's not a better picture. I'll just use this picture. I like this one. So we could say tubes, or we could say something like this. If it's like a slide, that means the water can only go down. But they're able to pull it up. Interesting. Okay. Actually, I like this. Using slides. Then the question is, how do they pull? Okay. Well, just for posterity's sakes, what do we want to call the system? Because humans, whether real or fantasy, love categorizing things. We love to categorize things. We love to give things names, all right? Why do you think naming a star is such a popular thing? We name everything. We categorize everything. Like, look at how many departments of blah, 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 blah there are. You know? Because we love to name them. Because not only is it fun, but it makes it more memorable if it has, like, a name for the system. So, for public relation reasons, let's give it a name. Pulling it up is easy. Archimedes screw? Archimedes screw. Ooh. Let me look this up. Okay. The Archimedes screw, also known as Archimedean screw. Hydraulic screw, water screw, or Egyptian screw is one of the earliest hydraulic machines named after Greek mathematician Archimedes, who first described it at around 234 BC, although the device had been used in ancient Egypt. It is reversible hydraulic machine, and there are several. Let me see, how does it work? Mechanism in the... Okay. How does the Archimedes... Well, this portion of the screw just dips in the water, and as it turns, a small quantity of water is scooped. Ah, I see. I see. Okay. 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 I've definitely seen this before. I just didn't remember it because I don't remember every engineering thing ever because I'm not a genius. Okay, so an Archimedes screw. What do we want to call it, though? Okay? Because not every engineer, not every player is going to be an engineer. And not every player is going to know about this engineering marvel. I call it a marvel not because it's so amazing and unique and special and like, oh my God, I can't believe we just invented this. But I call it a marvel because it's a thing that was invented thousands of years ago that we still use. Just in a more technologically advanced way. Or at least we use it in some places. Either way. Here's the question, okay? So on the one hand, I really like that. I like using science and engineering in a fantasy world. The wet system, water engineered transport. Is that based on something in real life? I feel like that's something based on real life. For now, I'll put that in... and put that in parens for now. There we go. I don't know why that was being weird. We'll take that. Just plug that in there. Okay, so it takes water from deep underground with an Archimedes screw, then is able to use the water to move goods around with a water delivery system using slides. It might exist, but I just came up with it now. You know, I'm going to do it. It's just called the WET. The Water Engineered Transport. I'm going to capitalize each of those letters because I can. The wet ways. How about the wet ways? Or the wet rails. It's the wet rails. And we can just say this like some huge nerd in the series came up with that name, and that is his baby. That is his baby, you know? I can imagine it's like, so the wet rails, good sir, the water engineered transport is the most ingenious system. Yes, the wet rails. If you want to use too much science and have some magical property of the water that it's expelled upward against gravity. Unless Ian or someone has a better magical idea. Yes, please, give me some ideas for magic water. I do have some ideas to make it more unique. Okay, let me see. Do mesas usually have... I'm curious. Do mesas have clean water? All water produced and delivered by... in the desert. Mesa. God damn it, that's not what I'm trying to look up. Gosh darn it. What kind of water can you find on top of... let's see, mesas. Water. Basal sapping occurs as a water flowing around the... Okay, so you can find clean water on mesas. Okay. I don't know why I said with and Archimedes screw. Use the water to move around. I'm going to put the second part in its own section, just because I hate when things bleed over. Trying to think of how... Where does the raw water come from? There is a magic orb in the... Sorry, my knee itches all of a sudden. There's a magic orb in the center of the mesa. It is... It's the heart of a slain primordial water deity. It constantly produces fresh, clean water. Can you? Thank you. I want to change that. Which actually has slight healing benefits. Why not make it more magical, you know? Water of life and all that. Yes, orb is good. I was about to use real life and say it's from an aquifer. I know that word. I gotta look it up though, because it's so cool. What is? Oh, there's a body of rock and sediment that holds groundwater. Got it. Cool. You know, we actually have some aquifers in the city I live in. Now, just because my brain is on a it's cooking right now. The orb got there during the battle between the gods and primordials. The mesa is actually a prison to keep this specific primordial from resurrecting. Bam. Cool. Actually, I'm going to write this in a... Because again, no need to have... Can you... Bada bing, bada boom. Now we have even more magic in this place that the people may or may not know about. Yes, any aquifers in San Andreas. That's why it's so foggy. Yes, that's how fog comes, because of aquifers. It doesn't have anything to do with the ocean at all. No. It's all because of aquifers. I'm not saying we have a lot, but there is at least one that I am pretty certain of that we have in this area. All right, cool. Now that we've answered that, what just happened? Oh my god, I thought I deleted a bunch of stuff. It wasn't scrolling over to the side. We do have an ad break coming in 2 minutes. So we created like a whole spiritual order. By the way, what do we want to name it? Like we never came up with a name of it. Like, we know that they believe in the soul of the desert, and they have their leader, what is he called? The Sage of the Sage of the Sands? I think it was called Sage of the Sands. Where is it? Yeah, Sage of the Sand. I gotta reorganize this later. So we have the Sage of the Sand, but what is the name of the order? Like, they would have a name. They wouldn't just be called, yes, we follow the Sage of the Sands. But what would their name be? Guys, start cooking up some names while we go on a quick break. Because I want to play some ads so that way, A, I can get 2 whole cents today. And B, so that way you don't have mid-roll ads. So, chat, what ideas have you come up with for me today for the name of our spiritual order? What would the name of this religion be? Is it the Sandmans? Ways of the Sand, Sand Brain? Those of the Deshret? I can't think of any good names, okay? I need help. All the names I keep coming up with are pretty goofy. Also, what kind of differing beliefs do they have? You know, every religion has different beliefs. There's no one way to do a religion. I also have a sandwich. Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? It looks like everybody died in the chat. I don't really want to name the order, so don't look at me. Okay. Is there anybody here besides Yuki? Looks like the answer to that question is no right now. Looks like everybody had to leave. Which is alright, these things happen. I'm just gonna write some random names. The sanded ones. Hand. The hand of, The hand of Ethmet. Actually, I like the hand of Ethmet a lot. And we can name who Ethmet is. If they're a god or goddess. Let's say the hand of Ethmet. We'll go with that. Well, then what is Ethmet? It's an M, by the way, and 2 T's, good sir. How dare you misspell it? Slap, slap. Honestly, that is a good question. Who or what is Ethmet? Oh my god, what am I doing? Ethmet, my bad. Not even capitalizing it. Ethmet is a god. Is the god of what would he be the god of? I don't want to make too many gods in this world. You know. Let's say the god of the earth, which would include sand. Of life. God of plants, nature. I like that. Yeah, I like that idea. God of the earth, life, plants, and nature. Well, we'll put that in orange. What are their different beliefs? What do they disagree on? What was something a religious order that is so connected to Ethmet? Because, like, okay, let's say there's a like let's if he was a god of the sky, you know, right? Which he's not, but maybe they would disagree on if you're allowed to eat certain birds. Because are chickens flightless? Most of the chickens need to fly as a way of survival. Heavy chicken breeds can't. Okay. Turkeys flightless? Okay. Okay. I just want a list. I don't need a history lesson on. Okay, kiwi. So maybe they would believe like, oh, it's okay, whether it's okay or not to eat certain birds. If he was a god of the sky, right? Is it okay to eat birds that cannot fly, or does it go against who he is in general to eat any birds, right? Ostriches and penguins are flightless. Yeah, exactly. So like, if this was a god of the sky, we could have them arguing: is it okay or not okay to eat chicken? Because chickens are birds, and birds are animal of the sky, but chickens can't fly. So do they exist under this sky god's domain? Right? So then, if he's a god of nature and the earth, I've got it. Is it okay to wear gems? Because gems come from the earth. And therefore belong to Ethmet. Bing. Bada bing, bada boom. Is it okay to wear jewelry? Right? Like metals are fine, but gems, right? They could even believe that some gems are the kidney stones of Ethmet, or the blood of Ethmet, you know, or the broken toenails of Ethmet, or things like that, you know, like that they are part of Ethmet. They believe in wearing minimal footwear to have a better connection with the earth. All right, let's move all of this down a few. There is a division on, is it okay to wear sandals? Let's say sandals, right? Or must you be barefoot? As followers of Ethmet, some believe you must be touching the ground at all times. Which then creates another paradox. Is it okay to use what are they called? Mounts and other forms of transportation for one's self. Obviously, it's okay for them to like move items and things in like baskets and things because those are not people. Animals they don't care about because those are not people again. But is it okay for a person to ride in a carriage? I think living mounts should be a divider. There we go. That's another one. Is it okay to, what's the word? Domesticate living land creatures to use as a mount? Now there's all these now there's like these factions like, oh, it's, you know, there are those who believe it's okay to do this thing but not to do this thing, and then others who think it's okay to do that second thing, but here's another thing that it's not okay to do. And they're always arguing, and these are like tiny little like, oh, you know, it's like little, does it really matter ultimately in the end? But they fight over these things, and this is why there isn't pure religious what's the word? Unity. We cooking, brother. We cooking. Yeah, let's put these in orange. We'll decide if we want to lock these in later, but I kind of like it. Are we okay? Do we like the gems one? The gems one is... That one's I'm like 50-50 on. I like the barefoot thing. The barefoot. I wrote bear 4. Barefoot is really interesting. What's the gems one? Is it okay for them to wear gems? Because gems come from the earth and therefore belong to Ethmet. Or you could even go as far as say they are part of his body. Part of body. What are we thinking, chat? Let's do a poll for the gems. All right, set up the poll, Mr. Mod. UK now circle. Everyone, there is a poll. Join us for the poll in the chat. We are curious. Do you think it would be an interesting point of the universe to have a whole faction that believes wearing gems is wrong, sacrilege even, because gems come from the earth and belong to the great god Ethmet, and some even go as far to believe that they are part of Ethmet's body, and therefore wearing gems is a signifier that you believe you can own part of a god. I'm almost right now making dinner. Can't. God, what the hell do I pay you for? Gem wearing. Gems. Sacrilege. Yersh. Yarp. Narp. I misspelled sacrilege. There we go. I like that there's a divide between those who believe in connecting with Ethmet via barefoot or whatever, and those who believe in completely reversing Ethmet and taking nothing from them. Ooh. Wait, what do you mean reversing? You mean revering? I'm assuming you meant revering. Interesting. All right. I like it. See, I thought I wrote revere. Classic human behavior. I'm going to change this to green. I'm locking these in. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. And I like the name that we're calling it the Hand of Ethmet. We're keeping that. That's the one where we gotta question ourselves on. While we think about that, so remember we have the Sage of the Sands. That's their great spiritual leader, their elder, right? So then, question: How? We said he keeps history, but how does he keep history? Is it just passed on through oral tradition? Is there like a secret library that only he's allowed to go to, like the forbidden section in Harry Potter? Which, why would you have a forbidden section in a school? But okay then. Or is it more like Dune, where they pass memories on magically? My cat just messed with something and it made a really loud noise. Looks like 100% of people are okay with the whole gems thing, so let's... We're locking it in. People liked it, we're locking it in. Pass it on orally through hymns and songs. Okay. No one has any other desires, so we're gonna go with that one. Actually, Oh, hymns and songs? Okay, got it. Through hymns and songs. Maybe history would be important enough to use paper writing on. You say that, and then there's the Vikings, who did not really write most of their history and stories down. We could say he also has a secret library. that only he can access. All right, we got a lot of stuff filled in. I like where this is going. I think we're gonna stop there for today because it's been an hour. We got a lot in, chat. We got a lot put in. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else anybody wants to. If I might want to play, you know, some. I think we're gonna move on for the day for now. We're gonna go to whatchamacallit, Valorant in a minute, unless you guys got any more other things you want to do. True, yeah. If you have any more ideas, let me know before I swap over to Valorant. Looks like everybody's cool. Okay, so let's start moving over to Valorant. I think we got a lot of cool. Oops, that was an accident. Pressed the wrong one. Looks like we got a lot of cool whatchamacallit, ideas in something neat. Hey, what you trying to say? Don't understand. But okay. Well, let's start swapping over to Valorant. Ah, we got some neat things. That there we go. Now I understand. Me Dane, not smart. Me brain, very damaged. So we're going to end the YouTube stream. Everybody who was in the VOD, thank you for joining us. We're going to start a new VOD now for Valorant. So just give me a minute to set all that up. Everybody in the live on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Remember, stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy. Be thankful for everything and everyone in your life. And the number one rule here in the Dragon's Den, don't believe in yourself. Believe in me who believes in you.